Can you see me? What up, internet? Decided to do another episode of my vlog today. So this is RynoRyder's vlog episode 4. Let's go feed the chickens. Hello, girls. This is also new. I built this. There's a cat. Black cat that is started coming around, so I thought it would be a good idea to build that for her. Back up. Can you see me? So, let's see. I don't know where to stand. Let's see, today, not much on the books, just gonna go have lunch with Gordon and then go swing by the offices. You guys can meet AJ and Kylie and just kind of check that out. I'm gonna bring them some stuff, and I shot some footage for them, some B-roll footage last week, and so talk about that. Stay tuned. In case any of you are wondering, I have exactly 1.5 cups of coffee every morning. It's very watered down, and I usually leave about half of it before I finish, and it drives my wife crazy. Of all the things I got going on right now, okay, let me talk about the book I'm writing. It's called My Black Angel. I discovered yesterday, started to do some research into how Amazon has set up where you can now self-publish your own books, and that intrigued me because then it kind of goes along the same themes of eliminating that middleman, right? This way you don't have to go through the process of getting an agent, go through publishing houses, rejection letters, all that kind of stuff. And so I'm debating it. I'm thinking about it, noodling it, whether or not that's the right move to go. I gotta finish the book first anyway, about 5 chapters in out of like 10 maybe total. It's not gonna be a very long book. So we'll see, but I'll get that done. And I usually do spend a couple hours in the morning working on that, so that's what I'm gonna do right now. Here's something, along with also watching a movie every day. You probably know it, but Tuesdays are kind of like a fun day for me because usually that's when they release new trailers, and that's when movies hit VOD or DVD or on demand or something like that, generally. Just like Saturday evenings are also kind of fun for me because that's when like HBO, Showtime, Stars, that's when they will have whatever new movies that they're having out for that month. And now Fridays are becoming bigger. I mean, I stopped watching movies in theaters a while. I just don't have the time to do it. But now Netflix and Amazon are releasing their movies on Fridays. So those are just, I don't know, I thought you might like that little insight of that's kind of, I get a little excited for those days because I know new material is going to come out and I can go and watch it, whether it be a trailer or a movie or, you know, or something like that. So just thought you might like to know, okay? Can you hear me now? So I was just, I've been thinking about something, and, you know, like if you really break down like excuses, I mean, it can be anything, you know, the reason like I didn't get a parking spot to the reason I'm broke or unhappy. And I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but I've decided I never made New Year's resolutions before, because I think if you want to change something, just do it. You don't have to wait for a specific time of the year. But this one, I kind of mentally made one this year in my head of just literally anybody that gives an excuse for anything as to why they're unhappy, fuck you. Like, fuck you. You have nothing to complain about. anything that is making you unhappy, guess what? It's on you. It's a big horse pill to swallow, but it's the truth. It's the truth. I'm rediscovering that every single day. And an interesting thing, side note, I wanted to go, a lot of people, still relate or think back to like kind of high school years as really what defined them. And it is an interesting time period in your life, those teen years. And I didn't have a difficult time in high school at all. And I think that actually hurt me as an adult, because things kind of came easy for me. And when real life happens, you realize that nothing comes easy. Everything is hard. That's worthwhile if you want it. And so I'm in a weird headspace lately. I'm kind of thinking about those two things, of like thinking about, wow, how good I had it in high school, and how, like, looking back, I'm kind of pissed that I had it that good. Juxtaposed with my newfound fucking hatred for excuses. Just a little insight. Thought you might find that interesting. Yeah, be hitting up lunch with Gordon in a little bit. Stay tuned. What? This is why I need someone to film me. Don't have to do it all myself, but that's okay. Alright, here we go. Going out in the world. Gonna go meet Gordon for lunch. Brick and Mortar in Santa Monica. Hey, Petunia. Rocking Abby's car. Give it a little wash. Perception, right? Is everything? Something like that. Anyway. So here we go. Update soon. What up, internet? So I'm here. I got here early for my lunch with Gordon. Knowing that I was going to get here early, I brought my book that I'm currently reading. I'm almost finished with. Adventures in the Screen Trade, William Goldman. I talked about something recently on my Anchor podcast that I wanted to take a moment to talk about now, and that is my like current obsession with older cinema. Like in film school, once you start watching and researching all the movies and stuff like that, of course you have to see all the classics, but to me, those aren't movies I constantly revisit or I watch over and over. I see them once and then kind of move on. The ones that I watch over and over are like the Terminators, the Predators, the movies I just grew up on. But my point is that the level of quality, this is what I said on my podcast, go back to look at 1968 and look at, and I'm just picking that year because I know it was a good year, but you can look at, the decades surrounding that. Go to 1968, look up the who were the Oscar nominated pictures for Best Picture, and you'll see a gauntlet of amazing films, and then go back and look at all the films that were released that year in 1968, and what you'll see is you'll find another dozen, if not more, just movies that are on like AFI's top 100 list, or just some of the best movies ever made, came out that same year. That doesn't happen anymore now, and so that's where my head's at. I find myself, I'm revisiting a lot of these older classics. For example, just 2 nights ago I watched the 1931 Frankenstein and was thoroughly entertained, and just seeing what they were doing at that time. I mean, so incredibly innovative, and the innovation is completely gone and completely lost out of Hollywood. And so that's kind of what I'm fascinated about right now. That's where my headspace is at. Hence I'm reading this. This book was published in like 1983. William Goldman's he wrote All the President's Men, Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid. That entire screenplay is in here, which I'm reading right now. It's very, very cool to see. So my word is, just go back and study like great quality cinema. You know what I mean? Just go back and study it. Go back and study it, because it's so lost. Anyway, so I'm going to read this for a little bit, and then meet up with Gordon. Just so you all know.
Oh my gosh.
This is Gordon. He does exist.
It's true, although my parole officer would probably want me back soon, so yes.
See him later on.
Cool.
Just so you guys know, that man right there,
It's true.
his last name is Whiskey.
It's true.
How cool is that shit?
And everywhere I go,
People always know.
whiskey seems to follow me. Just magically appears anywhere. Although this one looks like, somebody's being into my whiskey, so yeah.
That's not good. Waiting for AJ. Sitting at the office, chilling.
Whiskey and coffee. Those are the 2 things that keep me fueled, so.
What up, Internet? So, meeting with AJ and Gordon, introduction with them, went absolutely fantastic. I wish I could have. This is, again, why I need a fucking cameraman. It's just, there's so many things going on, so many thoughts and stuff. It's difficult for me to always remember to pull out the camera and to record things, but I'm going to start to try to do a better job of it. That's really it for today that I got going on. It's probably going to be a short vlog, but I'm going to try to do another one tomorrow. I'm meeting my new DP for dinner, so see what happens. Peace.